In the previous video, I showed you how to add a detailed condition assessment from within your build component record. And you could also do that for create a detailed condition assessment record from within your heritage place, relevant heritage place record. But before going into detail of showing you how to continue on and complete the detailed condition assessment record, I wanted to quickly show you the other method that I said that you might want to use, and that's where you want to add you want to create your detailed condition assessment record from the scratch and then relate it to the relevant heritage place or build component. And that is done from the assessment summary card, which I'm going to show you. But you have to note that in this method, you can only use it if you're doing your detailed condition assessment for your build component, or if it's for the heritage place, it needs to be only from one heritage place. For example, if you have a big site which has different features in it, which has a temple, churches, different structures, if you want to do the detailed condition assessment, let's say for the temple within that site, that temple needs to have a separate record as a heritage place. So you should first record that as a separate feature, relate your temple to your big site, and then you can start to add detailed condition assessment for that temple and relate your detailed condition assessment into the heritage place in question. In that example is a temple. So I want to show you how to, the first part of how to do this detailed condition assessment from the scratch. So from the main Emina V3 page, if you click on create a new resource, it takes you to the resource manager page, and then from here you can click on detailed condition assessment create resource. And this here will take you directly to the page of detailed condition assessment record, and where you can add and start to add information to it. If you're not on the first page, again the landing page of Emina, you can come to the left sidebar and this third symbol below the search. If you hover your mouse on it, if you click on it, it takes you back again to resource manager page, and then again you can click on detailed condition assessment, or if you just hover your mouse over it, you see the list of different resources that you can add to the database, and the one that you want to choose is detailed condition assessment. Here you notice that your resource doesn't have a condition number yet because you haven't saved anything yet to any of these cards. Again, as we advised in other videos, the best practice is start from the top and make your way down and complete all the cards. And the first one is the assessment summary window, and this is the exact window that I showed you in the first introduction video, in the pop-up page, that I was adding my detailed condition assessment from within my stairs and staircase component. So you add the name of the assessor, the role, activity type, and the date. And here is the important part, and it's where you will relate your detailed condition assessment either to your heritage place if you're doing it for one feature, or to your build component if you're doing your detailed condition assessment for a component. If I wanted to do this for my stairs and staircase, if there are many numbers here, you type the number of your component, but here I only have 2, and I know that my stairs and staircase is the first one, so you would click on that component, and that's already, when you see this, that means the relation is created between your component and your detailed condition assessment, but you have to make sure that you click add before this relation is created. If I'm gonna delete that now because I don't want to do this. And if you wanted to, so you do either this or either heritage place. And if you wanted to do this assessment for a whole feature, one feature that you have recorded previously in the database, you would start to type the IMINA number of it and then select it. Again, you see the number, and then you can add it in order to create the relationship. And again, this text box here is if you want to add any comments or information about the relationship between the detailed condition assessment and heritage place or built components. If that information is not clear from the rest of the record, and you need to add any information here. Just a note on the text box, do not copy and paste here anything. You need to type it directly in the field box, or of course you can leave it blank if you don't have any comments. And as soon as you click add, then you will get a new condition ID for your detailed condition assessment. So this was the second method on how to add a detailed condition assessment from the scratch and then relate it to either your build component or heritage place. I'm gonna close this page and go back to the page that we had. This was condition number 2, the one that I created from within my component stairs and staircase. So I already have this assessment summary page is already filled out for this record. And if I want to check that the relation already exists between my detailed condition assessment and component, if you click on this related resources card, you see that there are already 2 relations for my record. One is my name as an assessor, and the other one, of course, is the component, my stairs and staircase. So I'm sure that these are both, the relation between the 2 is recorded. I continue and go to the next card, which is the measurement card. And in this card, you can record information about measurements that have been taken as part of the detailed condition assessment, which are specifically relevant to the condition of the heritage or the heritage place or the component being assessed. I'm not going to go into details of how to add this. You already know that from the Heritage Place archaeological assessment tutorial. It's exactly the same, and you can add as many measurements as needed for your record. The next tab is the location one. And this, you use this card only if the geographic location that you're recording of the assessed area in the detailed condition assessment is different from the location that you already recorded for your either built component or heritage place. If it's the same, just skip this card. You don't need to add anything. Only use it if it's different. And if this information is needed, normally it should be from field survey, and you should have the GPS coordinates of this for this location to record location of the damage. Again, I don't want to go into detail of explaining how to do this, but just quickly, if you had a GPS location, the way to add your GPS coordinate as explained in the Heritage Place video is by clicking on the first field, and you just add a random point on the map. Then you click on Edit GeoJSON, and when you come to this window, you just replace this coordinate in green. You go to the green part, you replace the coordinate with the GPS coordinate that you have. Location certainty, like before, you add your certainty of the location, and if you use the GPS, it's either high or definite. In the resource orientation type, you can use this field to record geographical orientation of the part of the heritage place or built component that requires a detailed condition assessment. This field is optional and you can leave it blank if it's not relevant. Then you click on add, your location is recorded, and you can repeat this, and you can add as many locations as needed to record location of damage to different parts of the assessed area. You just need to click on this location tab to add new ones, or after adding the first one there will be an add new button up here that you can click on it in order to add new location. Next card is the Modification and Construction card, and in this card you will record information about modification and construction activities which have taken place at the site as part of the conservation, restoration or reconstruction efforts. After I click on it, then there are two parts that needs to be filled out. The first one is about any previous modification, and second one about the construction techniques that was used. So the first one, in the modification field, I want to add information about any previous conservation, restoration, and reconstruction work to my heritage place or built component. So in my example of the staircase, what I'm doing the detailed condition assessment for is the condition of the staircase and as stairs and staircase. And as I can see, the part of the stairs up here, both stones down and a cement block breeze, concrete block breeze, have been added. So this part of the stairs has been reconstructed. So I show you another picture of the stairs and another more close-up image, so you can see the new reconstruction to the component that I'm recording. So I want to record that. So the first wheel records what is the type of modification that I'm referring to, and as is the case for all the drop downs, there is a glossary that you can refer to find more definition of the drop downs or all the terms and concepts that we have in the drop down lists here. So what I want to record here is for my stairs, I want to say that they're partially reconstructed. If I needed to add any description, this is a free text box, and you can start to type any information, and then date of this modification. I don't know the date, but what I know, if you don't know the date, you just leave this blank, and since I don't know the date, so I just leave this field blank. Then I click on add. This information is added here to my record. Then I want to add what was the construction technique and material used for this modification. So the first one, material class, I want to record the raw materials that were used, and for my concrete breeze block, there were a mix of materials. So for the first one, I choose mix, and the second, the type of material is concrete breeze block, and a technique as a laying of this breeze block. If I wanted to add any notes about this construction material or technique, I can type it here. If not, I just click on the add button, and this is recorded. If I go back to the picture here, I want to also record that the cement mixture mortar that's used in both the stairs and a staircase, also the cement in some part is used as a mortar, so I want to record that as well. So my other material is I want to record this binding cement mortar. So if I go to my binding and bonding material, and I choose mortar concrete as a type of my material, and the class is mixed, and technique is the filling of these holes and binding of the stone and new concrete bricks together. I also add this information here. So after I added all I wanted to for my modification and construction, I can move on to my next card. And you note that as soon as you click on add, this information is saved and there is no need to add and save again. You just need to click on, not to forget to click on